All right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. We're going to be doing an in-depth price action analysis on the SPY, going over the key make it or break it levels. We're going to be identifying the upcoming bull and bear traps, when to go short, when to go long. I'm going to show you step by step what we're going to be doing in terms of the key levels that we're going to be trading at options heading into this week. As you know, we like to scalp very, very quickly in and out with at the money strikes. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of the SPY, if you guys have been watching the previous videos that I posted, I made it very, very clear the best price to short the SPY, to buy put options to bet against the SPY would be right here once it fills this gap at $414. And as you can see, that reacted as a major resistance level for 2 days in a row. On Thursday and on Wednesday and on Friday. You can even see there was major resistance in the pre-market here towards the key level, massive sell-off, major resistance level here slightly above the key level, massive sell-off, right? So in terms of what the SPY has been trying to do is it's been trying to flip bearish. It's been trying to have a bearish gap close reversal multiple times now at this 414 level zone. Now, in terms of what the chart is telling us on the daily chart, so it's been closing the gap, it's been reacting bearish, it's been selling off. Now, in terms of this candlestick right here, this is like a bearish kind of trend reversal confirmation candlestick, right? So, I mean, if you were just to study how the SPY normally reacts when it forms that candlestick towards a key major resistance, I can show you some examples, right, of the same exact candlestick. If we were to go back to the exact chart history and past of the SPY, you can see right here, it formed that same candlestick right here towards the same price. The next day it retested those highs almost, and then it sold off again. Day after that, it started to break out a little bit, but then it sold off again. So basically what could be setting up into this week is a channel where it just continuously tops towards 414 to 416, and it just keeps on selling off, and then eventually it just crashes. So I'm going to keep that in terms of the back of my mind on a potential midterm swing trade put option, right, where I just kind of hold it out for a bit. I'm going to give that some time. I'm not going to act on that swing trade idea right away. I did end up swing trading puts on a Thursday, got squeezed a little bit in the morning, but I held through that, and then I banked and made a nice return on that, and then I did very, very well on Friday. But with that being said, in terms of what could be setting up is where we trade in a channel. We continue to trade in a channel, something like this, right, where it just goes back and forth within this channel. And then within the next 2 weeks, we could see a nice sell-off. So I will be keeping that on my mind. Now, this is what I want to go over with you. Let's go over our key levels. So in terms of your best level possible to short the SPY heading into this week, you can see this is pretty incredible. We had a gap to fill at 415 right here at 415. There was a gap to fill, and that's where the SPY sold off massively from that 415 level. So in terms of your true best levels to be shorting the SPY, it's going to be in between the range of 414 to 415, right? So keep an eye on those put opportunities towards the previous week's highs. Now, another key level we will be watching, this is towards the upper middle of the channel zone. 412.46, this is the closing price, the previous closing price. As you can see, the SPY is starting to have a small gap up. 412.46 is going to be make or break support. So heading into this week, I want you to write down these levels in terms of where the exact top can be. 416. Slight breakout above 415. This can happen on a Tuesday. Slight breakout above 415. Best price to short is going to be that 416, 416.50-ish resistance level, right? I'm basically expecting all nice breakouts towards our key levels to be fake outs within time. So keep that in mind. Now, 412.46, this is make or break support. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to analyze the pre-market chart. We're going to analyze the 30-minute chart. So 414 is make or break resistance. If it breaks above 414, we go to 415. If it breaks above 415, we go to 416s, which would be the true best price to short in the 416s. What the chart is telling us is it's telling us it's going to try to have fake outs and it's going to try to get crushed from this like 413.70 to 415 zone. So I will be playing the top of the channels on puts. That's my game plan. Look for bearish confirmations, look for 30-minute bearish candlesticks, etc., right? So another thing you need to understand is this 414 is make or break. Once it reacts as a resistance and starts to sell off, which it did already form a double top in extended hours trading session, we will see a nice drop, and that drop will be to right here, which will be the previous closing price at 412.46. That is make or break support. If it cracks, we're going to go to 411.50. If it doesn't crack, then we spike back up into the 413.50s. So in terms of your key levels, you can write these down: 416, 415, 413. Okay, so 416, 415, 414, right? So you could write those down. 412.50, 411.50, and I really wouldn't be looking to go anything lower than that. I would kind of just sit on the fence, sit on the sidelines in a sense, right? So I want you to keep the kind of mindset as kind of like a channel week. We're going to trade in the channel, and then eventually, likely next week, it's going to try to sell off the channel. So in terms of, well, like, where's the channel going to be? The lows of the channel, we're talking like 408s. We're talking like low 408s. Even 406s is possible, but I wouldn't say that low. We're talking like 408s to 409s, right? That's towards the bottom of the channel. Highs of the channel, we're talking 414, 415. If it has one day where it's going to break above that, into the 416s should sell off, right? So I really want you focused on the higher end of the channels, the higher levels for puts, and the lower end of the channels for calls. That's what I would really want you focused on. Based off what the chart is saying, we could break down out of the channel and really start to sell off past below 406, but not until next week. It looks like it's going to take some time, and there's still lack of confirmation for that idea, right? So just understand, this is a bearish trend reversal confirmation. The play is the easy money is going to be in shorting the tops and shorting the 414, 415, 416. That's where the easy money is. Selling into the dips. We got support at 412.50. We got support at 411.50. We got support at 410. Just selling into the dips. Don't be greedy. Just get in, get out, scalp like a sniper. This should be a fairly easy week. I did notice for some people it wasn't the easiest week. I did okay. I didn't do amazing, but I did fairly well considering how kind of randomness the week was. It wasn't the easiest week to be trading. But I still did fairly well. So with that being said, I want you to kind of have that mindset of look for channels and focus on puts towards the top of the channel and then calls towards the low end of the channel. Then when we get some sort of confirmation, more confirmation with this theory of it possibly sells off, not this week, but next week, it breaks down below out of that channel and goes under 406. We'll be looking for confirmations to swing trade some puts within time, right? So you just need to understand the way the chart's trying to set up. It trades within the channel, so avoid the middle. The middle is the battle, meaning it's going to be battling to either push towards the highs, then sell off, or push towards the lows, then bottom out and spike, right? So ignore the middle, like I said, and focus on the lows and the highs of the channel. So the lows of the channel, 408s, 409s, highs of the channel, 414, 415, 416. The middle is going to be a battle. It's not easy to trade the middle. You got to be very professional, very strategic to trade the middle. You got to do very well and understand how price action works to trade the middle. For most people, I would just recommend you to focus on the higher end of the channel and the lower end of the channels. Also keep an eye on 412.46. That's make or break support, right? But based off of what this candlestick happens in terms of the next day, it looks like something like this. So just keep this in the back of your mind in terms of heading into tomorrow, because this is the most likable outcome at the moment based off of what we're given, right? Things can change heading into pre-market and market open. But something like this, where the SPY, so you can see right here, the SPY closes at $413. The next day it opens up at 415, so it has a small gap up, and then it sells off and gets crushed, right? The same type of pattern. So what I would focus on heading into tomorrow is I would focus on shorting the SPY, buying put options on the SPY, especially if it gaps up, and I would focus on key resistance levels to play for this gap to fill below at 412.46. It is trying to gap up. It's not confirmed yet, but hopefully it does, right? So if it gaps up, that's even more confirmation that this pattern, that history is going to try to repeat itself, right? So if this gaps up, I would have strong conviction that we're going to sell back off and possibly drop even lower. So we'll see. But in terms of my levels that I will be targeting, the pre-market highs, if we gap up, pre-market highs, 414, 415, and 416. Those are all levels that I will be targeting for puts, playing for the gap to fill below at 412.50. Once it fills the gap, make or break support. If it holds, it flips bullish. If it cracks, it sells off hard. Goes back to like 411, 410, maybe even lower. That pattern that I showed you says it's going to try to gap up, and if it does, it fills the gap below, sells off hard. Focus on puts at pre-market resistance at 414, at 415, and then even above that, you hit heavier, right? So just save that analysis heading into tomorrow and this week. That is how you trade the best setups at the best prices. And if you do want to be a part of Traders Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. Within Traders Society, you get lifetime access. It is a one-time membership fee. It's not recurring. It's one-time fee. And you get lifetime access to the Discord server, to all my real-time trade alerts, to the chat room, to the networking opportunities and members within the chat room, to the video lesson library, to the course, to the live trading streams, to the live trading voice channels. If you do want to check it out, it's the first link down below in the description. As soon as you join, you get instant access. You can start trading with us live tomorrow at market open. I will see you guys then.